Hi there, first grade friends. It's Mrs. N. This is your very first lesson, second step lesson for Cup Connections. And you remember I told you in my first time I saw you in your classroom that we are either going to have a video lesson like this, or we will see Mrs. N in person live in your classroom every other time that I visit you. So for this lesson, this is your recorded lesson, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. So I want you to get ready. So have a seat on the carpet or wherever you usually sit when your teacher is telling stories. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to go ahead and scooch on over so you have a seat on the carpet, on your square, or wherever your teacher usually tells you stories, because we're going to do some moving activities and we're going to need some space. Okay, so I will wait for you, and I have this really fun timer that I made, right? And I'm going to be bringing this to your classes too to help us focus before we start our lessons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and when all of the glitter is settled, I'm going to hope that everybody is in their space, either on the carpet or on their square. Okay. Moving, moving, moving. Our glitter is almost done settling. Okie dokie, friends, our glitter has settled. All right, that is such a fun tool, isn't it? You're going to see that when I come to your live lessons too. It's really sparkly and fun to watch. Okay, friends, so today is our very first second step lesson. Yay! Today we are going to be doing a lesson called Listening to Learn. So, are we ready? Today, you're going to meet a new friend, and we are going to do a couple of activities that require us to follow or talk to one another, even though I am in the, well, probably on your computer screen, right? Or your teacher's projector screen, and you're in your classroom. That's okay. We can still do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our brain. Where is your brain? Everybody point to where your brain is in your body. Where is it? It's in your head, right? It lives inside your head. What does your brain do? Your brain controls your body and it controls your thinking. So it controls everything that happens in your body, like your breathing, your heartbeat, your movement, blinking, breathing, smelling, everything. And it controls your thinking, right? So your brain has a lot of jobs, doesn't it? All right. Your brain gets smarter every time you make it work really hard. Did you know that? Your brain grows and gets stronger every time you make it work hard and learn something new. So we're going to play a game to kind of get our brains nice and warmed up. And it's going to help build the parts of your brain that help you pay attention and remember. Okay, so this is called a brain builder. And pretty much every time we have a second step lesson, our lessons will start with a brain builder. A brain builder is an activity that helps your brain wake up and be ready for learning. Okay, so this brain builder activity is called My Turn, Your Turn. And there's 2 rules that you have to listen for in this game. Okay, when it is my turn, so Mrs. N's turn, I'm going to name out loud with my voice, and I'm going to touch 2 places on my face or body. And then I'm going to say your turn, and you are going to name and touch 2 places on your face, head, or body. Okay? They have to be the same ones that I do. Hopefully that makes sense. So you are listening for me to say my turn, and then say out loud and touch 2 places, and then I'm going to tell you your turn, and then you're going to say out loud and touch 2 places on your body. We're going to do this 3 times in a row to get our brains nice and warmed up. So if we are ready, we can all stand up now. I'm not going to stand up because if I stand up, you won't be able to see me in the screen. But you guys can stand up. And we're going to start round one. I'm going to put that down. We're going to start round one in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. My turn. Head, ear. Your turn. My turn. Nose, mouth. Your turn. My turn. Shoulder, ear. Your turn. How did that go? All right, everybody sit back down on your square. Give you a second to get back to where you were. Very good. Hopefully now your brains are feeling nice and warmed up and ready to learn. Are your brains ready to learn? Maybe I can hear you through the screen. Tell me yes or no. Say, yes, my brain is ready to learn, Mrs. N. I'll listen for you. Go ahead. Great job. Okay, so our brains are nice and warmed up. They're ready to learn. So now I would like to think about what helped you while you were playing that game. What helped you to remember to wait for your turn, for when I said your turn, and what helped you to remember which 2 body parts I said out loud and pointed to? Did you pay attention when I was talking? Did you listen carefully? Did you wait for me to tell you your turn? And did you follow directions? Yes, all of those things helped you to play the game successfully. You did a great job. Okay, so now that everybody's sitting back down on their carpet square, I want us to talk about listening. So when we're at school, we do a lot of listening, don't we? Listening helps us learn, and it helps us to be successful at school. It helps us remember what we learned, and it helps us get good grades, and it helps us concentrate and focus if we're listening, right? So I want to introduce you guys to somebody now who's going to help you learn what to do when you're listening. Because listening is not just with our ears. We use other parts of our body when we listen to help us focus. It's not just our ears that are listening. So I would like to introduce my friend now. Remember, I told you guys that I'm going to have puppet friends that I bring along to our lesson. This is our very first puppet friend, and his name is Puppy. So before Puppy comes to life, he's a puppet, right? So before he comes to life, we have to say some special magic words. So again, you're going to have to listen and pay attention. Mrs. N is going to say the magic words, and then when I count to 3, we're all going to say the magic words together, and Puppy is going to come to life and talk to us and do this lesson with us. So are we ready? Okay. Here are the magic words. Now remember, you're going to listen very carefully when I say the magic words because they are very silly and they don't make any sense. So we just have to listen for them. Here we go. The magic words are strawberry shoes. I know it's silly. So strawberry shoes, skies that are blue, Puppy, come to life. Okay, so can we do that all together? And then Puppy, he'll come to life. He'll talk. Are we ready? Okay, so on the count of 3, we're going to say the magic words together. 1, 2, 3. Strawberry shoes, skies that are blue, Puppy, come to life. Hello, everybody. My name is Puppy. Hello. I'm 8 years old. I love going on the videos, and I love to help Mrs. N teach the lessons. I am so happy to be here. I know you are so happy to be here, Puppy. We love having you here, don't we, friends? Yes, Puppy is a lot of fun. He always has lots of energy, but sometimes Puppy has to have some help remembering how to calm down and listen, right, Puppy? Well, yeah, sometimes I do, because sometimes I get very, very excited Yes, you do, puppy. So, puppy, I was hoping today that you could help the class remember our 4 listening rules because I know that you know the 4 listening rules, right? Oh, yes, I do know them. Yes, I do. Okay, so puppy, can you help me teach our class there's 4 listening rules? Well, sure I can. Okay. So the first rule is eyes watching. And when we do this, when we say eyes watching, we put our hand up like this and make a C around our eye to show the teacher or whoever is talking that we are watching them. Okay? So rule number 1, eyes watching. Eyes watching. Very good. Eyes watching. Rule number 2, ears listening. And when we say ears listening, we put a C around our ear to show our teacher that we are listening with our ears. So rule number 2, ears listening. Ears listening. That's right. Now, our third rule for learning is voices quiet. We put our finger like this. And I know we are all wearing masks. I'm not wearing masks because I'm in my office by myself. But I know you are all wearing masks, and that is okay. You can put your finger like this right over your mask. Okay? So rule number 3, voice quiet. Rule number 3 is voice quiet. That is right, puppy. Thank you. Now, rule number 4 is body still. And when we have body still, we give ourselves a hug. Okay, puppy, what is rule number 4? Body still, and you give yourself a hug. Very good, puppy. So, puppy, can you name all 4 of the rules for learning? And I'm going to say them, or I'm going to do the hand signal as you say them out loud. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Okay, so puppy, when you're ready, you can go ahead and start saying them, and I will do the hand signal. And I want you guys in the classroom to also do the hand signal with me when puppy says the 4 rules for learning, okay? Are we all ready? Here we go. Puppy, eyes watching. Good job. Ears listening. Voice quiet. Body still. Okay, that was such a good job. So now we know our 4 rules for listening. These rules help us to be able to focus. Focusing means we're listening with our ears. We're watching with our eyes. We're not talking because if we're talking, we're not able to listen, right? So we are listening with ears, focusing with eyes, watching with eyes, keeping our voices turned off, and our bodies are still so that we are ready to learn. Okay, awesome. Great job, puppy. And thank you so much for helping me. Oh, you're very welcome. I love teaching the lessons. I know you do, puppy. You are such a good teacher too. So, wow, puppy, there are so many jobs for different parts of your body when you're listening and learning, aren't there? Yes, there are. Okay. And puppy, do you think that the kids in the classroom might be able to repeat all 4 of the rules for listening if we ask them to? I think maybe yes, they can. I think they were probably listening before, and so I think yes, you can do it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to just do the hand signal, and I would like for you in the classroom to say out loud with your voice the rule for learning that goes with that hand signal. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to count down from 3 to 0, and then I'm going to do the hand signal, and you're going to say out loud the rules for learning. 3, 2, 1. Did you get them all? Eyes watching, ears listening, voice quiet, body still. Yes, that's right, puppy. Puppy got them all, but he was being quiet because he didn't want to give it away. We were kind of testing you guys in the classroom, weren't we, puppy? Yes, we were. Did you get it all? I think you did. High five. Good job, puppy. Puppy high five to the computer. Okay. So now, friends, I'm going to share my video screen because we're going to talk about a little story, and I'm going to set puppy right over here for a minute. Thank you for your help, puppy. I really appreciate it. All right, now I'm going to share my video screen because we're going to look at a picture and tell a story and have a little talk about what's going on in this picture. So I want to present. And then we're going to go over here and I'm going to click on this picture. Okay, now I scooted over onto the side and I'm probably in a teeny little square, but I'm still here. Hi. So now we're going to look at this picture here. This is a picture of some first grade students with their teacher. Okay. Now let's just take a moment to look at this picture. So in this picture, the boy in the green shirt, see him, he's in the green shirt right here. That is Will. So take a look at Will. What is Will doing? Take a moment to look. What do you think Will is doing? Puppy, I might need your help. Okay. Okay. So, Puppy, I want you to take a look at Will in the green shirt. Yes, I see him. Okay. What does it look like Will is doing? It looks like Will is maybe not paying attention because he might be talking to his friend. That is a very good observation. Well, Will looks like he might be talking to his friend. Give me a thumbs up if you also thought that it looks like Will might be talking to his friend and not paying attention to his teacher. Good job, Puppy. Now, Puppy, what clues could you see that told you maybe Will was not paying attention and instead he was talking to his friend? Well, his body is turned to the side and it doesn't look like he's not keeping a still body. And his eyes is not watching his teacher, and he looks like his ears is not listening, and maybe his mouth is talking. All of those things are right. So when we look at this picture, even though we can't know exactly what's going on because there's no video and it's not live, but when we look at this picture, the clues of Will's body language are telling us he's probably not listening because his eyes are not watching his teacher. And if his eyes are not watching and his mouth is open because he's talking, he's probably not using his ears for listening, right? And his body does not look like it is still. He is not sitting crisscross like all the other students, right? Thumbs up if you agree. It looks like probably Will is not paying attention. Okay, now Puppy, can you tell me, do you think that the rules for listening might help Will? Oh, I think so. Yes. I think if he was watching his teacher, then he wouldn't feel like he wanted to talk to his friend because his focus would be on the teacher. That is so true. If he was watching his teacher and his body was faced towards her and his eyes were watching her, then his ears would have an easier time listening. His body would have an easier time being still, and his voice would have an easier time being quiet, and he would be able to focus. Very good, Puppy. So let's talk about what happens when one person in a group, like this group of students, what happens to all the other students when one person in a group starts talking? You have an idea, Puppy? Do you have an idea in the classroom? If you want, your teacher can pause this and you can talk about what does happen when one person in the group starts to talk. Does it make it easier or harder for the other people in the group to focus and listen? What do we think? Go ahead and pause it if you would like to, teachers. Otherwise, Puppy and I are going to have a discussion, okay? So Puppy and I are going to talk about what happens when somebody talks in a group. Puppy, do you think that it makes it easier or harder for the other kids in the group to pay attention and focus and learn? Oh, it makes it much harder because when somebody is talking, then my ears want to listen to that person, and then my eyes turn towards that person, and then my body starts wiggling because my eyes turned that way, and it's very, very, very hard to focus if somebody is talking. That is so true, Puppy. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that, Puppy, because I think we're all in the same boat. If it is a quiet space and we're listening to a story, and then all of a sudden somebody starts talking, we get distracted. Distracted is a word that means We can't focus anymore because somebody else is doing something that takes away our attention off of the teacher. Okay? So, how can we help Will in this situation, guys? Will obviously needs to learn the rules for learning, or he maybe needs a reminder. Huh, puppy? I think so, yes. Will could use a reminder about the rules for learning. Okay, so let's help Will by saying the rules for learning one more time. Okay? The rules for learning, and I'm not going to share this anymore because we've already seen the picture. So we're going to go back to our big screen here where you just see me. Hi. Okay. So our rules for learning one more time to help Will, because you know what? This happens to the best of us. Sometimes we start talking about something or we get an idea in our head and we want to share it with our friend that's sitting next to us, but we can't do that because that makes it hard to focus for everybody else. So we are reminded of our rules for listening that make it a lot easier for us to focus. So let's go through our rules for listening one more time. Puppy, are you ready? I am ready. Okay, Puppy is ready. Yes. Okay, so Puppy, our first rule for listening is eyes watching. Eyes watching. That's right. Ears listening. Ears listening. You have such cute floppy ears, Puppy. I just love your ears. All right. Eyes watching. Ears listening. What's next, Puppy? Voice quiet. Voice quiet. Yes. This is the one Will really needs to practice. Voice quiet. And then our last one is body still. And we give ourselves a hug. Puppy, you're giving yourself a hug. You're so cute. Very good. Okay, friends. Well, today we learned our 4 rules for listening so that we can focus, right? So we learned that there are 4 parts of our body that help us to focus and then learn, right? Because our brain, when we are focused, it learns better and it can remember things better. So our first is eyes. Our eyes have to be watching, right? Our ears need to be listening. Our voice should be quiet. And our body should be still. That's what we learned today. Okay, so friends, I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. And I will see you, and Puppy will see you. I will see you too in the next one because I always help Mrs. N teaching the lessons. That's right, you do, Puppy. So Puppy and I, will see you in the next lesson. And our next lesson will be live and in person. I get to come to your classroom. Yeah, Puppy's going to get to come to your classroom. So until next time, friends, goodbye. Goodbye. All right.